Hello, my happy readers. It's Shedtime Stories with me, Issy. Are you ready to share a new story? Well, I have chosen a rather superhero story to share. The title is Charlotte's Shadow. If you have this book at home, you can read along with me. The authors, the people who have written this story, are Anne-Marie de Pape and Christine Quaglia. And the illustrator, the person who has drawn all the pictures, is Kenzie Edge. Now we're going to meet a little girl, Charlotte, who has a rather special dog, Shadow. I wonder how he got his name. Shall we read and find out? Charlotte's Shadow. Wake up, Shadow. It's morning, says Charlotte. Remember, wherever I go, you go. That's why your name is Shadow. I hear Charlotte's voice. Everyone calls her Charlotte, but to me, she is a real-life superhero. My eyes open wide. I can hardly wait for today's adventure. Every morning, I spring into action. I hurry to flick the light on in Charlotte's bedroom. Charlotte puts my vest on and says, "With this vest, I grant you all the powers of the universe." Charlotte puts on her favourite sweater, tights and bracelets. As Charlotte puts on each item, she transforms into a real-life superhero. Charlotte puts on her special goggles, which I bring from her nightstand. "Now I can see you," she tells me while putting them on. We go to the kitchen where Charlotte's daddy says, "Good morning. Are you ready for breakfast?" "Always," Charlotte replies. "Here you go," and hands Charlotte her toast and milk. "Power fuel for my little superhero." He then says, "Shadow, here's your favourite kibble." Charlotte starts to play with the superhero figures she brings everywhere with her, even the breakfast table. I hear, "Pow! Take that!" "All right, Charlotte," says her mummy. "Let's put the superheroes away until you're finished. Even superheroes need their breakfast." At the end of our favourite superhero cartoon show, Charlotte turns to me and says, "Shadow, are you ready for our adventure?" I jump off the couch to get Charlotte's backpack. Charlotte's mummy says, "Now don't forget to visit Nana. Daddy and I also need this letter dropped in the mailbox, please." "We're on it, Mummy," replies Charlotte. Charlotte puts the letter in my mouth and we begin our adventure. We reach a busy street and Charlotte needs my help to get to the other side. The light turns green and it's my time to shine. I lead the way across the street to make sure that it's safe for Charlotte. We get to the other side and Charlotte says, "Good boy, Shadow, we did it." As we head down the street, I see a big mountain in the distance that Charlotte calls the mailbox. I don't like how tall it is or how small the door is that I have to slide the letter through. I'm always afraid I'll miss, and sometimes the mailbox feels hot or cold on my nose. As we make our way to the mailbox, I remember Charlotte is a superhero, and no matter what happens, As long as I'm with her, everything will be okay. I look at Charlotte, jump up on my hind legs and get the letter through the door the first time. Charlotte cheers me on, tells me she's proud, and even gives me a treat. I always look forward to going to Nana's house. Her house smells delicious. Nana is in her garden, waving and saying, "Hello, sweetheart. I've missed you. I can really use your help watering. Can you please grab the watering can for me and help me water these flowers?" Charlotte says, "Fetch," and I bring the watering can to her. Charlotte fills the can with water and moves it back and forth over the flowers. After Charlotte finishes watering, Nana gives her a cupcake and gives me a special treat too. Waving goodbye, Nana says, "Have fun at the library." As we get closer to the library, we see a boy near the front door with his mummy. I hear him say, "How come she gets to bring her dog to the library and we had to leave Riley at home?" His mummy says, "Shh, Nathan," and doesn't answer his question. I think she's embarrassed that they left Riley at home. Maybe they'll remember to bring him next time. As we approach the big doors of the library, Charlotte says, "Open, Shadow," and I jump up and push a button, which opens the doors like magic. "Well, hello, Charlotte. How are you today?" asks Mrs. Coulson, who Charlotte calls a librarian. "Fine, thank you, Mrs. Coulson. I have a book to return," says Charlotte. I fetch the book from Charlotte's backpack and jump up on my hind legs to put it on the desk. "Thank you so much," says Mrs. Coulson. "Here, Charlotte, this new book came in, but don't tell anyone. I saved it just for you." She winks. Charlotte thanks Mrs. Coulson, and then we head to our usual spot by the window to read. I love this spot because I can see outside and there's a vent right on the floor that fluffs my fur. Nathan's mummy tries to stop him, but he comes over to Charlotte and says, "How come you can bring your dog here?" "Shadow comes everywhere with me so he can help me. I'm in a wheelchair and Shadow helps me to do things that other kids can do on their own." "That's so cool," Nathan says. "You're lucky. I wish my dog knew how to do those things. Can I pet your dog?" Nathan asks. "No, I'm sorry. You can't pet Shadow because he's working, and if you pet him, that will distract him." "Is that why Shadow is wearing a vest?" Nathan asks. "Yes," Charlotte says. "Shadow's vest lets everyone know that he's working and shouldn't be disturbed." "That's awesome," Nathan says. Nathan then waves goodbye to Charlotte and rejoins his mummy. What an adventure we had today. We mailed a letter, crossed a street, watered flowers, read a book, and even made a new friend. I'm glad I can go on adventures with Charlotte every day, even to places where other dogs can't go. I'm looking forward to tomorrow when Charlotte puts my vest on and says, "With this vest, I grant you all the powers of the universe." I guess that makes us both superheroes. I can't wait until our next adventure. Oh, what a fabulous story that was! How clever is Shadow? As a working dog, he has his own superpowers. He's able to help Charlotte in her wheelchair to do all the things that she wants to do. And Charlotte is Shadow's own superhero too. Did you guess why Shadow got his name? I hope you've enjoyed this Shed Time story. And if you want to, you can like, share, follow and subscribe to Shed Time Stories. Then you'll be ready for the next book for us to share together. Bye-bye.